hate to be the one to break it to you, but sex education of the past failed us. Because birds and bees, they don't fuck. Welcome to Birds and Bees Don't Fuck, the show where we learn exactly how bad our formative sex education, or lack thereof, really was. I'm your host, Arielle Zadok, and with me today, my guest is the founder and CEO of Amore Sui, here to destigmatize and celebrate anal pleasure for women. Welcome to the show, Whitaker Cohen! Yay! I feel like I need a button that, not like the button because that's like really intense, but like applause.
Just a little snaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Someone send me a snap machine. They have to make. Well, I mean, they have sound effects for everything. I'll just add sound effects. No, I want a machine because it's.
Yeah, it'll be more fun to like press a button.
Yeah.
And then you can do like a.
We all love to press a button.
So many.
Oh my God. Okay, so we started off talking about cuffs, which was exactly how I started my last podcast, the one that's on Patreon. If you want to go check it out on Patreon with Lisa. I love these cuffs. I just got them I was at XBiz and I got them from Crave. Love Crave, which is actually, I believe, their Instagram and their website. I have to make sure that I get my affiliate link all set up because I talk about this so much that at XBiz, I was standing at their booth. Rachel, who was there with them, she was like talking to someone else. She was doing whatever. And then two people came up to the booth and they were checking something out. And I just like instinctively started talking about the products and different things because I know about their products. And I'm like, yeah, you can do this. And here's and look, they have this size too. And I was showing them the cuffs and talking about the different options with the cuffs and like what they're good for. I had just learned about the cuffs, by the way. And then they're like, oh, do you work for them? I'm like, no. I just know about the product and I love them and it's easy for me to talk about them. So I'm like, yeah, I really do need to set up my affiliate code. But I love these and they are actually real restraints.
Nice.
So these are made of silicone, so like not tough restraints, but they also have leather cuffs. They had a different, I like the chain, so I wanted the silicone and the silicone feels nice. But yeah, they have other pieces too. So you can, if you really want to use them as restraints and like go pretty hard, the leather and gold is like,
yeah, but these are like a nice little, it's like a nod.
Yeah.
Like a little like boop, boop.
Yeah. If you know, you know. We love kinky jewelry.
We really, I mean, I really do. Again, not connected to them in any way, but I love Crave jewelry.
Yeah.
At the last expo they were at, I got one engraved because they were doing free engravings.
Ooh, yeah, I got this one engraved too. I got my burlesque name on it. So my actual name is too long. Arielle is too long. Ella is short enough. And then I got little hearts next to it too. Nice. A little cheeky. So, yeah, so welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. This is something we talked about for so long, but I was like paused when we did. So, yeah, let's just start with the basics. Where did you grow up?
Oh, gosh. All right. Way back in the basics.
Way back in the basics.
I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up between Philly and Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So pretty like standard, like suburban, boring upbringing. Went to college in New York and then moved out to California because if you've lived on the East Coast, you don't want to live there.
Yeah. Yeah. And we always find each other too. So I'm like, oh, that's why we vibe. That's why
100%.
Where'd you go to school in New York?
Barnard.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have a little bit of New York in you.
Oh, yeah.
So where did you wind up going to like well, let me just start with this. What do you remember from your sex education?
Christ. So fun fact, my mom growing up and throughout most of my adult life until she retired, worked for Planned Parenthood.
Oh, wow.
So a little bit different. My sex education was comprehensive in the safety aspect.
Yeah.
Very clear from too early an age how to use a condom, how to like when to use birth control, when to get Plan B back in the day when it was not over the counter and you had to call in a prescription.
Yeah, I do remember that.
There was literally like a nursing hotline you could call.
Forgot about that actually.
I am aging myself.
Me too, because I called and I had to go to get that.
Yeah. So my personal sex education was comprehensive from like a medical standpoint.
Yeah.
From a pleasure standpoint, none.
Yeah.
And none in school, obviously.
Yeah.
Except for men, the male orgasm.
Mm.
And like
From a pleasure perspective, do you think, or just from the fact that like they have an orgasm and like women don't?
Yeah, I think maybe not from the pleasure perspective, to your point, but like maybe from like the men have orgasms. The male orgasm is the end of a sexual interaction.
Oh yeah.
And the start of it is an erection. And it was like,
these are
penis,
the boundaries.
Penis.
Everything is about penis. Sex is about the penis.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually don't need that.
So
it's a bonus sometimes if you want it. Maybe.
It can be. Yeah. You know what?
lot of variables there. Don't need it. If you can't get hard, don't worry. We don't really need it. Really Lots of other things you can do. Flaccid peanuts, they're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
You know what else is great? Toys, fingers, tongues.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. There's so many great things that we can use if we just use them and get creative.
Yeah. And like have the right kind of shame-free education.
100%.
So yeah, I didn't have any like pleasure sex education.
No. Unheard of.
No.
I don't even think
Did you?
No, definitely not. And I don't even know. I'm trying to think because now we're talking about women having orgasms and I honestly don't know if I even remember ever like when did I even know that women have an orgasm? You know? Like I don't actually, because it's not something that we talked about. Definitely not in schools. Like we're absolutely not learning about that in schools. I don't think that it was something that we were even talking about like between peers. And when you think about, especially like way back when, masturbation was so stigmatized for girls and women that I don't know that I even knew that women can have an orgasm. I don't know. Like I've never really thought about like, when did that come into my consciousness? Because it is not something, if we're not talking about pleasure, we are definitely not talking about women's orgasms because there's no other reason for an orgasm really other than pleasure. It's not like that's required for procreation.
No, we should spread that. It's definitely required.
It is absolutely required. It does actually enhance your chances, but I don't know if that's scientifically proven, but I'm going to say it is.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say women need to orgasm.
Well, we absolutely, like, why are you having sex if you're, well, not orgasm, because I actually just submitted to an article about that today, because if you're struggling to have an orgasm, that's fine. It's actually not required for anybody to have sex. Pleasure is what is required. The orgasm comes as a result of relaxation and pleasure. And you can have pleasure without relaxation. You can have relaxation without pleasure. It's when all of those things intersect in the mind, the body, and the soul that an orgasm can happen. And it's not required for sex.
I want that little clappy button now. Or
yeah.
Snappy button now.
Oh, I do need a snaps button. Oh my God. Somebody please point me towards a good snaps button because I produce this by myself. Do it. So it's an interesting, I've never actually thought about when did I become aware that women and girls can have an orgasm. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I think, well, funny enough, one of my partners when I was like 18 bought me my first vibrator.
Oh.
Yeah. And was like, go home, snaps. and was like, go home, use it by yourself and come back and tell me. So like major snaps.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe that was like, but like I knew like broadly like women like sex toys existed.
Yeah.
And like, but yeah, there was never any emphasis on like,
no,
certainly like my own orgasm or like my own pleasure even during sex, which is, unfortunate.
Very
Have
unfortunate.
since obviously changed that.
Yes.
But,
yes.
As a young, like a teenage girl. But yeah, that's a huge fucking problem.
Yeah, it is a huge fucking problem. And again, I do think we have so much emphasis on the orgasm itself and the climax. Like we are having goals-based sex.
Mm-hmm.
And goals-based sex is not operating from a place of pleasure and intimacy and connection and exploration and discovery and all of the things that makes sex great.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can focus on having a great experience versus getting to this finish line, it changes everything. And you can have an orgasm But if your nervous system is activated because you're just thinking about having an orgasm and you're focusing on that, and you're trying to do, like I talk about this with squirting all the time. Just because you make someone squirt doesn't mean it felt good.
Okay.
I have squirted so much and I'm like, this doesn't feel good. Sometimes it's from feeling good, but
yes.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Because the first time a partner made me squirt, I didn't feel good and I didn't come. It was just like activate. I was like, what the fuck? And he was so proud of himself. And I was like, no, I didn't orgasm and I didn't enjoy that. You just like made a thing, like a body mechanic thing.
Literally, I mean, that's what, let's be honest, that's what most of this stuff is, right? Like it is, your body is reacting to stimulus. So when we're talking about squirting and people are like, everyone can squirt. Sure, maybe everybody is different. Everybody can't do everything. So any statement like that is like run from anyone who's ever telling you everybody can do XYZ. Untrue. There's bioindividuality. So like, no, not everyone can squirt because different bodies are different. They operate differently. But it's like a video game. You do certain things and most bodies will respond to that stimulus in a certain way, but it does not mean that it's pleasurable. I was having great group sex on Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. I love my friends. It's great. Yeah. Holidays seem to be group sex days for me. It's very funny. But
it's like joyous.
It's just joyous, you know, like, yeah, I've had several, holiday orgies. Anyway,
sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. So at one point, like he was fingering me and we're just like chilling, whatever. And I think I had already come once at that point with somebody else, but I don't know. Like I think in my head, I was like, oh, I think he's trying to make me squirt or like something like that. I don't even know. But then all of a sudden I felt like a fucking waterfall going down my butt. And I was like, am I squirting right now? He's like, yeah, you're fucking leaking. And I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. It wasn't like I wasn't having an orgasm, nothing. It wasn't like, I was just like, oh, okay, cool.
Like, good to know.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up.
Good thing you have squirt blankets. That's why these things are important. But yeah, it's just a great example of like this. Again, let's dispel some myths.
Yeah.
That's destigmatized stuff. It's not pee, can have some of it in there, but it's not always pleasurable. So when we're thinking about goals of like, oh, I want to make her squirt or I want to make them squirt, but for why?
Yeah.
Bragging
rights?
What
a good question. Exactly.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it's like, what if your goal was, I want to like give her pleasure. I want to like drive her a little bit crazy. Like a little emotionally based versus like a physical goal.
I want to tease her.
Yeah.
I want to see how long I can make this experience. I want to see how much she can beg me to come. Like all of these things make it so much fucking hotter.
Yeah.
So much hotter.
To your point, it's like it's the mind, body, soul connection. Like you gotta have like the mental part of it. You gotta have that like you gotta like turn the brain on a little bit. You know? And the body.
And that applies to men too. We think that that's such like a female brain thing, which again, that is going to completely exclude anyone who is intersex or trans or anything like that. So even those statements alone are so fucking problematic because we are all human beings. But when we're looking at the binary, that applies to men too. So
100%.
We just erase that.
Yeah.
Like if you're struggling with anything with your dick, what's your head doing?
Yeah.
How does your heart feel?
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, then we just remove that experience. We just deny that reality for men, which is fucked up as well.
Yeah.
Like they also deserve to have like an understanding of what's going on between their mind, body, soul. Yeah.
All of it.
Everyone does.
We are whole human beings. We can't just like pick and choose different parts based off of like what genitals you have, which again can be a variety of different makeups and chromosomes and hormones and all these things. So yeah, the binary is just like, it's a problem, y'all. But let's go back to your like early days sex education. So mom was teaching you very medical stuff.
Yes.
You had Planned Parenthood resources. Do you remember anything from school or like how old that started?
So I think we had like, it was like health class. It wasn't like, we didn't have any like sex ed.
Sure.
With like health. And I think it started, I want to say in like 8th grade or 9th grade.
Yeah. So like 12, 13.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So really fun time to try and like talk to kids who are going through
Everything.
every emotional, hormonal change. And it was really like, here is the like biological, this is like the testes and the vas deferens and the scrotum. And here, I don't even know if they had a drawing with the clitoris on it.
Oh, I'm
And
sure they did not.
Certainly didn't have like first of all, this is so cute. But they certainly didn't have like the full with like all the like phalanges and like the full, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had like, here's the vulva and the labia and the vagina and your uterus and fallopian tubes. It's like, cool. Those make babies, maybe, but like, maybe.
Yeah. Hard maybe.
But like,
hard no.
We're not doing any shit with my fallopian tubes while I'm like having sex. Please.
And also, the way that it is presented to us is a stretched out version of it.
Oh,
that's not actually what it looks like in the body. It's not this like beautiful little triangle with like these clean lines and these bulbs and these bowls. Like, it's fucking squished in there.
Well, they took that from like a medical journal that had been like stretched out so that students could like
poke around and
like label parts of it. Yeah.
I mean, and that's good. That's purposeful for sure. But all of us were raised to believe that that's what it looks like in your body. And it's not. It is that, sure. That is like the overall shape of it. But then you got to squish it in and fit it in here.
Yeah.
And then expand it when there's a baby in there, if there's ever going to be a baby in there. And also when you're menstruating, it expands too. So it's all of these things that, I mean, I think at that point, we're going to age ourselves, but it was around, I know, it was around the time that I wish I could remember her name, but she was a doctor in Australia, and she was the first person to do an MRI on a clitoris, on a human clitoris. And that was the first time. There had been drawings before. There were like suspicions before, even as far back as like the 1800s, maybe even 1500s too. But the clitoris has come up in medical history repeatedly. And repeatedly, the men who discovered ignored it. And they're like, well, we don't need to know about this. So to your point of it's just about what makes babies, they systematically erased the clitoris. And they're like, well, we don't need to study this. This doesn't really do anything. This doesn't serve us. This has nothing to do with anything. And also, almost every body part is named after the man who discovered it.
Yeah. The G-spot named after the man who discovered it.
Fuck that guy, okay?
Bro.
Yeah. So when it comes to the clitoris, it was not until the 90s that this female, this doctor, she actually put it under, put it in an MRI or something like that. And I don't know if it was like a cadaver body or like a human. I mean, I think that's kind of the only way we could do that at that point. But that was really the first exploration of it and the first actual research and actual study into the clitoris and what it looks like and what its parts were. And that was the first time that we probably really gained the understanding that the penis and the clitoris, like it all starts as the same thing.
Yeah.
I think they did probably have the information, but that's where we really started to understand development. So when we were in high school and junior high and first going into sex education, they hadn't even done that yet, or they were just doing it then. So
and it certainly wasn't getting into like fucking American, like it just wasn't getting into any, education, like K-12 education at all. Like no one's out here trying to teach like 13-year-olds the intricacies of like the clitoris. They should be, but
no. And I mean, to be fair, there is the pacing of it too, right? At 13 years old, your body is going through so many changes, and that includes the emotional changes and the feelings that you're having towards people that you never had feelings towards before. And that is a time where we need to be talking about that. Like we need to be talking about consent and bodily autonomy and your nervous system and bleeding and coming and masturbation and all these things. But instead, it's just like, don't get herpes, which like, I'm sorry, you're going to grow up and learn that everybody has herpes.
Yeah. And also don't get pregnant.
Yeah.
And also it's the girl's fault always.
Oh, for sure.
And her responsibility.
Yeah. All on you.
Yeah.
Did they separate the boys and the girls in your class?
So they did in the younger grades. And then I think we'd had another round of like health in like sophomore year or something. So like 15, 16. And then they had classes with everyone together. And the boys, of course, were like losing their minds. And the girls were like just dying of shame when they talk about like periods and, you know, all that super fun, problematic.
It's so
childhood stuff.
Sad.
It is. It's such a bummer. I just like, yes, anatomy is important. Like human anatomy, super important.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be sex education.
Yeah. That should just be in regular science and biology classes. But when we're talking about sex education, it needs to be about pleasure and consent and autonomy and communication. Oh my God. Could you imagine if we all learn how to have honest conversations when we were 12?
Girl, some of us still need it.
I know.
Some people still working on that.
Girl, I am dealing with someone who is like next level ghosting and breadcrumbing, like science experiment level, and he's like in my play party friend group. I'm like, what is wrong? Like, this is fascinating, dude. Like, what is happening?
At this point, it's just like a scientific
literally
curiosity.
It's been like that for like a month where I'm just like, I don't know how to explain. I mean, I can absolutely pathologize and like that's very easy, but it's also like fascinating when people of our age behave in a certain way. And obviously it's because we didn't learn these lessons. It is like a science experiment. And I'm just like, ooh, this is interesting.
Let's see here.
How long is this going to go for? Oh, now you're popping back in like this. Interesting. So it's like, sometimes we know too much when we do this work.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's so wild to me. I mean, it's just, it's a bummer.
It is a bummer because then you have people in their 30s and 40s who are still struggling to just communicate and just connect, and they run away from things or they try to grab it towards them instead of like learning how to behave in a secure way, which may sound ethereal, but like it's not that hard. So
it's just, I think security and trust is a huge part of intimacy and pleasure. Like, massive. And I think, you know, as with everything else, it's either glossed over, ignored, or, you know, completely left out of the conversation, and just leaves us to this like deeply lacking social conversation and education around sex and pleasure, which sucks.
It does suck. I mean, I think we're at a place now, other than us getting banned all the time, we are at a place now that we are having more conversations. It's still obviously not in school, so we have to do so much work on the outside. And I'm curious, between your sex educator mom, I don't know if she was officially a sex educator or just working for Planned Parenthood, but she was your sex educator.
Yeah, she's mine.
Unofficial, which is, you know, most of us are. I'm curious, how much did you already know by the time you were in classes, and how much did she have to like go back and be like, well, actually?
So I think by the time I was in class, like I knew for the most part. Well, so I knew the facts that they were teaching. They did teach inaccurate facts, or like, which are just lies. They just taught lies. That's the word I'm looking for. So like and again, back to the sex education was fully around the penis. We were told that once a boy got hard, he had to come.
No,
he couldn't get like it was just, he had to ejaculate if he got hard. Yeah. So we were like, well,
untrue,
but deeply false,
deeply untrue.
Don't let anyone tell you that
ever. Blue balls, untrue. Go deal with it yourself.
Truly. So yeah, that was one. So like,
I can't believe they taught you that.
I mean, yeah.
Talk about rape culture. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, which then led to, with your blue balls comment, I like, oh my God, well, I have to come. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Just bulldozing right over any consent or any, like, yeah. So that.
Guilting people into it, which, I mean, obviously that was like culturally a thing anyway, but I can't believe that they said that.
I have to. Oh yeah, and that wasn't like a student. That was from our sex ed teacher.
Male or female?
Female.
Oh my God. Lady. Well, she didn't know
Indeed.
better. That's
I
it,
mean,
you know?
it was a whole, generational trauma and harm. So I think with the true things, I knew most of like the biological facts, and like I said, like putting on a condom, and well, the different forms of birth control for girls. Back in the day when they had female condoms, which were just like a plastic baggie that you shoved up inside
diaphragm.
you. Yeah,
Yep.
diaphragm.
Found those in my mom's bathroom once.
Aw.
I was like, oh.
What did you think? Or were you old enough to do what they were?
I mean, I knew about sex at a very young age. I was like 8 years old, listening to like Dr. Ruth and watching Real Sex on HBO, because we did have HBO. Super privileged, by
You
the
guys
way.
I was gonna say, you guys were
Oh no, we had a black box too. So like we were definitely stealing some stuff. But yeah, I would scramble to watch a boob for sure, which I always wanted to just see the boobs. I still just want to see boobs.
I was gonna say
nothing has changed there. So I knew about sex from a very early age, and I was always very interested and curious about it. So for me, it wasn't like I kind of assumed what it was. I don't know that I knew it was something sexual or something having to do with a vagina.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I necessarily knew it was sexy, but like, my mom had she always wore like silk nightgowns and stuff like that. So she was, I don't think they've had sex for a long time, but they don't listen to this podcast. It's fine. But it was a very repressed house for sure, but she was feminine, and I never found a vibrator or anything, but like she never wore like granny panties or anything like that. She wasn't like a thongs lady, but I had access because of course I was like digging through shit. Because again, I was always interested in sex and sexuality and sexy things.
And you were a kid.
And I was a kid. So it was a repressed house, but like my mom still had these like luxurious, sensual things. So I don't know that I knew. I mean, I think I did know it was for sex.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a condom, just a bigger one.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But also like
sidebar.
Yeah. Just like generally being around like sexual stuff.
Yeah. Even if it wasn't like overtly in my world, in my home, it was still like and again, I sought it out. I was always a curious kid. Like sex was always fascinating to me, and it still is.
Yeah. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're in this world.
Yeah. So your mom had to like dispel some myths for you.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Did she talk to you about consent or anything?
She probably did. I don't have any like clear memories of her talking about consent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she was like, no means no, which was what the
that was it.
The rhetoric was when we were growing up. Mm-hmm. Or like, well, you would never, and again, like putting the onus on.
Yep.
You would never get in a position, or you would always feel safe. Like
you're a smart kid.
You're a smart girl.
Yeah.
You would never get into
smart
a position. And like I am, and you know what? I've still been in some real fucked up, shitty positions.
100% same.
And not felt safe saying anything, and I've absolutely just let sexual assault happen. Because that was easier than saying something. Yeah. Which is that's
fawning. That's when you just got to get out of there. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to give up. I'm not going to keep pushing back. Like, let's just get through this and then it's done. And that is sexual assault.
Yep.
Yay. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sorry for that tangent.
But, this is what we're here to talk about. People need to, listen, fawning is something that we don't talk about. And it is difficult for people on the giving side of that to understand it too, because we don't have, first of all, enough conversations around consent, but we're not having the conversations around what fawning is and the fact that the nonverbal and the verbal communication has to be there, and how sometimes what you might think is like a clarifying question or just like asking again or asking in a different way, like that is coercion in a way. That is pressure. That is not creating a space where someone can actually have autonomy. Mm-hmm. And when we're not talking about all of the different layers of things, it does leave people on the giving side confused sometimes, because they're like, absolutely, but she seemed fine, or he seemed fine, or they seemed fine. They did it. I thought it was all fine in the moment. Yeah. But it's like, okay, what was their body language?
Yeah.
Were they looking away? Were they hesitant? Did you have to ask them 3 times for the same thing?
What were the conditions around which you guys were engaging in this?
Yes.
Were there a lot of drugs or alcohol or like, like especially when I was, in my teens and 20s, like I did not have like the wherewithal to say anything. And
Mhm.
especially if we were like drinking or high, whatever, using any substances.
Yeah.
And we grew up, you're a smart girl, you're a strong girl. Like you wouldn't ever put yourself in any position, but also a man has to come as soon as he gets hard. Or
Yeah.
like there's just a lot of contributing factors to reasons why fawning might happen. And like, I think you're right. Like more education around it is super important so that people, that partner or partners on the other side understand what's going on.
Yeah. And I think something that you just said out loud there, which cannot be understated, is that when you're, listen, it's great for your parents to be like, you are so smart. You are so well adjusted. Like, you're such a smart kid. I trust you, all these things. That's beautiful. And we do want to encourage that. And it creates a really unsafe environment for your kid to come to you when they do fuck up. If
Oh,
the
yeah.
expectation is so high that you would never do that, you're a smart kid, you know better, I taught you better, that creates a space where you're not allowed to fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Even if your parents would be like, "What? I wish you told me, like everything is fine,
Yeah.
like whatever. Of course
We
you're
love you
human. We love you no matter
unconditionally.
what." When the expectation is the person that I look up to and the person that I love sees me as this smart person that couldn't have possibly gotten pregnant, been assaulted, gotten, made this bad decision. We're all fucking humans.
Mm-hmm.
Even the smartest people. I mean, if you look at cults, for example,
Oh my God.
the
Yes.
smartest people are the ones that wind up in cults. And that is
Yeah.
very much on purpose because they're seeking them out because they're leaders, they're smart, they're trustworthy,
Yeah.
they're trusted, they have emotional intelligence, and they can still wind up in these situations. And then when that happens and you realize what's happened, the layers of shame,
Mm-hmm.
it is almost too much to even handle and say anything about. So
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up specifically so we could like dig
Yeah.
into that a little.
Well, and it's so, I remember like very vividly, it must have been my freshman year of high school. They had like a girls symposium or something. So they had all like the female teachers and all the female students in like ninth and 10th grade come together. I went to a small school, so it's like not that many. And they're talking about, this is what you need to do if it's sexual assault, or this is what you need to do in this scenario, or this is what you need. And they're like, does anyone have anything to say? And like 14-year-old me raised her hand and said what I felt like was the most obvious fucking thing to say. And I was just like, hey, yeah, like sometimes you don't feel comfortable saying something because like you don't want to piss anyone off, or like
Yeah.
this person's really popular, or like you don't feel safe speaking out. And I remember teachers coming up to me afterwards and like this look in their face, and they were like, if you ever want to talk about something, and I like didn't understand why. And I was
Yeah.
like, this feels so blatantly obvious. And now as an adult, if I had that comment from a 14-year-old
Yeah.
child, I would be gutted.
Yeah.
And I get it. But it was just like, duh. Like,
Yeah.
what if the popular boy gropes you in the hallway? You're not going to be like, oh my God, he
Yeah.
like pinned me against the locker. Like, no, you're just going to be like, whatever the fuck. I don't want to draw attention to myself.
Yeah.
Moving right on.
That's called power dynamics.
Woohoo.
Yeah. And it's so important. I mean, that's why I teach a power dynamics workshop at the play for everybody that works for us, because it's so important that you are aware that these things exist and how they intersect with consent and how they create a space where sometimes consent can't exist when there is a power dynamic at play. So when you are the
Absolutely.
person that's holding the power, in any given situation, like we can look at this right now. Right now, I'm the person in a position of power. It's my show. I'm the one that's leading the conversation. If the roles were reversed and this was your show and you were interviewing me, even if I was, a big name, you would still hold the power. And then if we even go a different layer, if you were a celebrity and it's my show, you're the one that holds more power. So these things are like constantly shifting and changing, and it's power. That's why it's called power dynamics, because it is so dynamic.
Yeah.
It is so dynamic.
Yeah. And complicated. And no one, or like not enough people talk about those aspects and like that involvement in any kind of like sexual pleasure play.
Yeah.
It's so, like the consent, the power, the situation, like the involvement of substances. Cause like, let's be honest, I've gone out and gotten drunk and hooked up and been like, ugh, that was a choice. What did you do there?
Not a great choice.
Nope.
That wasn't okay. Well, we did
did
that.
Yep.
We did that. Yeah. Consent cannot exist where people are fucked up, because you do not have the ability to give or receive consent. So watch out who's doing what, especially at play parties, y'all. Like, that's a space where we need to be super fucking cognizant, because you don't always know the person that you're playing with. So it's really, really important that you are paying attention to yourself. And if you are intoxicated to a point where like you would make a decision and be like, well, would I do this sober? Nope. And the person that you're playing with, like, is this person really fucked up right now? Like, did we just do a bunch of Molly and now we're doing whatever? Like, that's why we say at play parties, like, hey, listen, people are going to do what they're going to do. Everybody's an adult here, but like, you got to fucking pay attention to that shit, because it's for real.
Yeah.
I'm curious about butt stuff.
Let's talk butt stuff.
Let's talk butt stuff. How did your journey into butt stuff begin?
Yeah. So,
because obviously you didn't learn about it in school. We just definitely established that.
Oh my God. Yeah. So like, it's been a journey. So I think like many people had like a bunch of really, or not a bunch, but I had a few like really bad experiences in my like late teens and early 20s. So I was like, you know what? It's not for me.
Yeah.
We're good. We're done. That's an exit.
We're not going to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I was in a play situation with a partner who I just trust with my whole heart, life, and soul. And she was like, I'm going to like use my pinky. And I was like, I trust her.
Yeah.
And I was like, did we just unlock something? And then from there, it was just like a journey of self-exploration for honestly years before I felt comfortable like bringing a human into any type of anal play or penetration. So yeah, it kind of went from like, oh God, bad experiences written off to finally like someone who I trusted, who I knew was putting my pleasure first and only cared about like my pleasure in that moment. And then like the curiosity and the support from like sex positive friends. And then the journey to Amore Sui, which is Latin for self-love.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Was that like, I really like nice things. Like, I'm a bougie little girl.
Yes.
And there weren't products out there that were like pretty and like made me feel good visually.
Yeah.
And then like that were also like really high quality. And that, I didn't do anything with a partner for so long. Like, I was just masturbating with a butt plug and like figuring all that out on my own, which was great. And I would start talking to my friends about that. And they're like, like what?
Yeah.
I thought butt plugs were just like a guy puts it in you. And I'm like, well,
no, ma'am.
It's one possibility out of a whole world.
Yeah.
A
whole world.
Yeah. A whole world of pleasure. But yeah, so it was I think a common journey, at least the start of it. And I was really, really grateful for that partner who, opened my eyes and butt to butt stuff.
Open the holes, man.
Open the holes. But it from there was another journey to then like launching a company, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is a whole other journey.
Yeah. I mean, you really went from 0 to 10,000 on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
What made you want to really go all in that way and shift it from something that you just enjoy, that was pleasurable, that you did by yourself and with a few trusted partners or maybe many trusted partners now, to I'm going to make this my thing. I'm going to do this as a job and create a whole company and create a product. I mean, creating a product is not easy.
Girl.
It's, when you first told me that, I was like, wait, what are you doing now? This is wild.
Yeah. So, good to be ignorant of some
Yeah.
things when
Yeah.
you're going in.
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss.
It is. So I think I really care about my friends' sexual pleasure. I care about women's and humans' rights. And I say all of this because I think they all kind of intersect
Absolutely.
here. And I just, my friends would be coming to me with every question. What kind of lube do you recommend?
Mhm.
What do you have a brand of butt plug that you like? Is there anything like this is happening? Is that okay? Is it weird? What should I be wary of? Like what? And I would literally just get texts without any context. Hey, so I've been kind of like gassy when I take the plug out. Like, is that normal? I'm like, or no, when I douche, I'm like, yeah, babe, are you getting the water out of the douche before you use it? Because otherwise you're literally forcing air up into your butt. She was like, no, that makes sense. Yeah. She's like, I hadn't thought of that. And I was like, no one talks about that.
Air has to come out.
Yeah.
That's what a queef is. Air's going in. It's got to come out.
And so I realized that just like no one's talking about any of this. And people are coming to me kind of like, tee oh, I don't want to. Even my friends who are super comfortable with it, they're like, they trust me, which I love and appreciate. And I feel very honored by that trust. And I just have no shame talking about butt stuff. And so I feel like if I can put out that education more broadly to people and put out like a nice product that like the girlies are gonna like it's designed,
it does feel really nice. It's
right?
like it feels really nice, y'all.
And like just I want
and
it
it's
to
very
be, like,
ergonomical too. Like I like I like that my thumb fits there. Like it's really
intentional.
Yeah, no, you can tell that like
Yeah.
every part. And I mean, also I've had conversations with
For
you,
sure,
so I
for
know
sure.
how
Yeah.
much intention and how many tests you've done and all of the love and thought that went into this. But like, it's a really beautiful shape. And I also love that it's not huge.
Yeah.
I think oftentimes when we see butt plugs, they're just like these gigantic things. And it's like, this is why people are having bad experiences.
Yeah, it's like, where do you think that's going? Because not here.
It's not going in here.
Mm-mm.
Okay? Like,
yeah, we designed it to be beginner friendly.
I'm just like, chilling.
Also, like, it is
It's
fun.
it's a nice little fidget toy.
Yeah.
I really like. I love how it feels. It feels
I
so
know.
nice. Like
It's
oh my god.
I've got to give a shout out. I mean,
it's like ooh.
It's nice. Oh yeah, that was multiple rounds of R&D.
Oh my god, this is actually like
Just like a nice.
This is a nice way to turn yourself on. I'm not gonna lie. Just like
just
rubbing.
be sure to always wash soap and water, and if you want to sterilize, boil for 10 minutes.
Yes, before and after, always, 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 and wash your hands. Like clean. Everything has to be clean because otherwise, and never go back to front. Lots of safety things here, but the way that this is like nice and clean or whatever, this is
like a nice little
It's a nice way to start a self-love session and a pleasure session. Is like, you don't have to start down here. No. It starts, even just this action on my face literally lit my body up.
Good.
That's how fucking easy it can be, especially when you're using products that feel so nice.
And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to my
I'm going to keep
designer.
this in my hands now.
I know, as you should. I think that's
I don't really want to put this down.
The best
My ADHD loves this right now.
My industrial designer, she's incredible. I posted on a Discord and I thought thought I was looking for a mechanical engineer, and she responded so sweetly. She was like, what kind of like medical? Because I was like, I want to design like 3D medical grade silicone objects. She's like, well, do you maybe need an industrial designer? I was like, well, I don't know what that is. So please tell me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she designed for like mermaid tails and like makeup a lot before.
Yeah.
And just this like brilliant woman. I'd briefly chatted with a mechanical engineer who was a guy. And every time I told him something, he was like, well, I don't know about that. And then he'd come back to a meeting and be like, oh, well, I talked with this guy who thought it was a good idea. And I was like, oh, I think I think we're done.
Yeah, we're done here.
And I chatted with Andy the first time, and she was like, hey, I might not be the right fit, but like, here's what I think, and here's this. And like, I really think this is awesome. Like the direction of the company and like bringing pleasure to women. Just like, I'm super it's super important to her as well. And just immediately I was like, oh yeah, this
is it.
So like we are fully woman owned and run, which is nice.
That's incredible.
And I think you can tell in the size and quality and shape.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't, the little short little front, so it doesn't irritate or like interfere with your labia or vulva or like vaginal opening if you want to have a double penetration.
Yep.
And then it has a little thong that's like super comfy and flexy for safety and also like cuteness.
Yeah, I do. I like how long this goes out too. Also, it does the length of this makes it easy to grab when you're trying to get it out. And I think that's a really important thing too, because obviously we always want to make sure that we have good stoppers when we're doing anything anal. But a stopper would stop like there, right? So like that's not a lot, especially when you're like in the thick of it or post orgasm or
there's like lube everywhere.
Yeah, the lube makes it really hard. So I really like that this kind of gives your hand something to like track down.
Yeah.
And then you've got this nice like it's a really, really good design.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we worked a long time on that. It took about honestly about a year in R&D.
Yeah.
To get just from the first, I have my house, just a bag of about 17 3D printed butt plugs.
Oh my God.
It was like our journey to Jenny.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that she's named Jenny.
She's like cute and friendly and approachable.
Yeah.
And like, just, she just wants to be like your little best friend.
Yeah. And Jenny is like just such an accessible name. And like, listen, as an Arielle, I wanted to be named Jessica or something like, quote unquote normal. So I do think having a name like that like people are just so used to and comfortable with is like, it's really cute and really fun. And giving her a girl's name is instead of like, I don't know, the rabbit or, I mean, obviously the rabbit is something different, but you know what I mean? Like a different name. So I really do love that.
Thank you. Yeah. We just wanted and I mean, like even the box, it's like very like very girly toile, but they're all little scenes with Jenny just in little.
Oh my God. Wait, let me look at this.
Yeah. So like it's very unobtrusive.
Oh, this is so
like
cute.
You can leave that out.
Oh, and there's got no, that's lube. But it can also be seen as washing hands. Is she with little duckies here?
Yes.
Oh my God. Jenny has
one
little
of my
duckies.
favorites.
This is so cute. Oh, is this a little peach?
Yep.
Oh my God.
All right, just like
I love this.
And very like it's all butt plugs. But you could like leave that box out, if you're a mom.
It's beautiful.
And you forget to like put your toys away. If that box is out,
you don't have to
like
worry
you
about
said
it.
earlier, you're going through all your mom's shit. You go in there, like you're not gonna know what the fuck that is.
No,
as
and
a child.
You're
Like
that's like whatever.
Safe.
And it looks, to a child, to me, like I love this design and I love like it's very Victorian, which is like very sexy and feminine. But like to a kid, they're just gonna be like, that's old stuff. I don't want to look at old stuff in a box.
Like,
so
I don't know.
like,
Mom has like a weird box. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
So like you can, it's also like from a safety perspective, if you're uncomfortable having your kids find adult toys. Like,
we need to think about that.
Yeah. It's an easy little just like boop.
Yeah.
But yeah, we put a lot of thought and effort. Also, like so many plugs, first of all, are designed by men.
Yeah.
And have these like really uncomfortable bases.
Yeah.
They're like either huge or like.
Or they come up too far.
Or the gem plugs, which don't come out far enough.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about a horrible experience that I had.
I have not used a gem plug and I will not be using a gem plug.
That's a great stance. I endorse this stance.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I love sparkles. I'm like rhinestone pasties from now until forever, sparkle tits for life. But, and I would love a sparkle butthole, but I'll bedazzle this shit before I put in a gem, know?
Yeah, they're so dangerous. So again, like, it's funny because we went to some of the shows last year and a lot of the more established toy companies, like they have kind of the like Gen X old white man vibe.
Yeah.
And so they were coming up to us and they're like, well, I don't get it. I can buy a butt plug for $10 on Amazon. I'm like, no, I got it.
Do it then.
That's not for you.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, actually most butt plugs are for women. I'm like, no.
Actually,
Fun fact, they're not.
false.
It's like, first of all, they're designed by men for male
Mhm.
pleasure in a
Mhm.
woman, but
Mm.
it's not for women. But they
Yeah.
like weren't grasping that. And I was like, cool. This
It's
is
not
not
for
our
you.
audience. And we went to another expo and all the women were like, oh my God, I get it.
Fucking
Yes.
in.
And I was
Let's
like,
go.
there it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, it's, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
It's, there's plenty of, we have plenty of male users who love
Sure.
it.
Yeah. I mean, a
and
good product is a good product.
for sure.
That's kind of it, right?
And God bless them all. But yeah, it's an interesting narrative, I think, kind of from the earlier generations
Mhm.
of toy companies that is shifting.
Yeah, and I think you raise a good point because I've been to the expos too. I'm very familiar with the adult industry, and most companies are were created by, but also owned and run by men.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, those that are for vulvas and to be inserted into vaginas and things
Yeah.
of that nature. Most of these companies are still run by men, and most of the designers are still men. Obviously, there are a lot of incredible women in the industry, but the majority is still men.
Yeah.
And when you have someone with a different type of body, not saying that you can't make great things, obviously, incredible products exist, but you need to have people in the room that have the experience that you are trying to create for other people. It's why
Mm-hmm.
in any creative room you want people from different cultures and different backgrounds and different experiences, because it just makes for a better overall product. Whether you're doing a creative product, a physical product, an adult and not adult, it doesn't matter. When you have people that have the lived experience, you're going to make a better product. Not that one
1000%.
person represents an entire population. Absolutely not. That's not the way to go. Let's not do tokens, but there's value and importance in having the right people in the room.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And good to know when the room is not for you.
Yeah.
Either.
I mean, not everything is for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Not every client is for you. It's the
Yeah.
testament of like knowing your audience. This show is not for everybody, and great, there are other things that are for you, but
Yeah.
other shows are not for people and they are for you. So thanks for being here. So happy about that. Let's see, how are we doing? Oh, we're doing good on time. One more question for you. I'm just curious about like the first shift you made into actually pursuing this and like what that was like with the people in your life.
They were not surprised. Yeah, like I said, I'm very sex positive, very little shame. I walk through life, as me constantly stumbling and like walking into objects. So like I had to free myself from shame a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so and they know, I'm a trusted place to talk about butt stuff. And so when I said I was gonna start working on this, they're like, "Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Let us know when you launch product."
Mm-hmm.
And then
We're in.
yeah, I think bless my parents. They don't necessarily understand it, but they're very supportive.
Good for them.
Oh yeah, my like so sweet. My parents, watched the podcast and they're like, "Well, I think you made some great points." And I'm like, "It's
Oh,
great. They're lovely."
my parents do not. I love y'all. If you do happen to watch, I
Yeah.
love you, but it's not for them.
I mean, like you said. But yeah, my biggest fear in telling my parents is like, I'm shifting careers. This is a big leap, and I want to get more ready before I
Yeah.
tell them what I'm launching, and like kind of talked through it with my brother a bunch because again, my family is very supportive and wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think unsurprised.
Yeah.
It's the reaction from people in my life.
And I mean, what a gift that is. I think for your friends, that definitely makes sense because they had already been coming to you. So there may have also just been this level of like relief because you have been their person to answer these questions. And now they're like, oh my God, and now she's going to make a product for me. This is amazing. Like, what a privilege. Truly, what a privilege to have a friend that works in this industry. So you're welcome, everyone who's friends with anyone on this show ever. But yeah, it is a privilege. And so I'm sure that there was a level of like, oh man, this is amazing. Like now I can just get something that's even better than what she's already pointed me to. And good on your parents. That's really, not all parents are supportive.
Absolutely. I love this story. It's because it's like the most mom. Right before my very first market, I did like a unique market.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're standing all day.
Mm-hmm.
My mom sent me a pair of like really padded shoes.
Oh,
she's like, because you're
Mom.
gonna be standing all day. I'm like, it was just like the perfect like mom supportive thing.
Yeah. I'm so happy that they support you in that way. That's like really and truly, that's such a gift to have your family, even if they don't understand it, to be able to support something like this, especially because it's butt stuff, right? Like there's so much shame around it, which there shouldn't be, because most people do like butt stuff, even if it's just a little bit around the rim. You don't have to put anything inside. It does feel good. Like
light pressure.
It's your body. It is your body. You get to explore your body in whatever way feels good. And there are so many ways that feel good. So why limit yourself?
Yeah. Just do it safely. Don't insert like army men up there because you need a safe flared base.
You always need a flared base. It is a vacuum. Your asshole will suck anything up because it is an exit portal. And so it's created to make sure that things don't come out when they're not supposed to come out. That means that when you put something in, it's going to suck it up. So always use a stopper. Always, always, always use a nice flat base, or get something
beautiful
like this. Look at that. So we're going to shift to reading a Reddit story, but because of time, which this is the first episode that I'm doing this, and I kind of had a feeling like all the Reddit stories, they're all going to be on Patreon. I don't even think I'm going to read the title of it now so we can like tell y'all what we're going to be reading. But if you want to watch the section of our reactions, you're going to have to go to Patreon. So you don't get to see it unless you're in our membership, and that's super fun. So I'm going to read the title of it, and then let's go over where people can find you, and then we're going to dig into this story.
I'm excited.
So let me get to do you go on Reddit? Do you know anything about Reddit?
I go onto the Below Deck subreddit because I'm obsessed with Below Deck.
Wait.
It's a Bravo TV show.
Oh my God. Cute.
Yep. So that is my one foray.
That's your one foray.
That's my one little toe dip into Reddit. Going into the Below Deck.
I never really went on Reddit at all. Like I was not a Redditor. And for the last like probably year or so, I've literally listened to every single episode of Smosh Reads Reddit.
I love that show.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And because of that, I've also listened to almost every episode of Two Hot Takes. So shout out to both of those teams because these shows are great. And now I'm like, wait, because the part about Patreon that stressed me out was like, I don't know what bonus, I need to give people more if they're going to like come in and support me in this way and like be a part of a community, but that's a lot of work. Like running this at all is a lot of work. And then I was like, what if we just read Reddit stories? Because I love doing that. And then I can also just have like random ass friends on and do it. So
I love it.
That's what we're going to do. So we may do more than one story, but the first story, I categorize this under, oh, that's juicy. And I try not to read these before so that I'm also surprised, which is like probably not the best thing as a producer, but like whatever. We take risks on this show. So the title of this story is, I found my fiance's sex tape with my stepmother. We're supposed to get married in 2 weeks. Okay, so we're going to read that over. I know, me too. I was like, ooh, that's juicy. So we're going to read that over on Patreon. But before we go do that, tell people where they can find you.
Yes. So we're on Instagram at Love Amore Sui. We're online, loveamoresui.com. That's our Shopify. We're on, if you go to cutebuttstuff.com, you can get a little like 5 starter tips. And also I think it gives you like a percentage off to the actual product. Cutebuttstuff.com.
That is an adorable URL.
Yeah. It's
cute butt stuff.
We're cute about it.
Oh my God. Maybe that's the title.
I think that's where you can find it. You can also find us in Shag Boutique in Brooklyn. And hopefully more brick and mortars soon. Yes. Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. You can find me everywhere at The Pleasure Producer, at Birds and Bees Don't Fuck, spelled FCK. And if you can figure out and remember how to spell my name, it's Arielle Zadok on Instagram. But we get kicked off all the time. So really and truly, come on over to the Patreon because I'm not going to get kicked off over there. We've got a free membership level. And then
the tiers that I created are the birds, the bees. So birds and bees, right?
Mhm.
The flowers, the trees, and the moon, because that's the song.
Love it.
So those are our levels. And once we start getting more, I'm going to give you shout outs on the show. So come on over there because we are about to read this juicy story. So thank you for coming. We'll see you next time. I don't know. Bye. Take care of yourselves and always use a stopper.